Hi, and welcome to Northside Speaks. I'm Lori Salazar. Well, today we are talking about grants, writing them, and how to make them work for your school. I am joined by an amazing grant writer, but in real life, she's a principal. So we are joined by Dr. Mary Jewell, principal of Rudder Middle School. Hello, Dr. Jewell. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So just recently I was at your school and we were featuring a rain garden there, and you told me about funding that came about for it, and then that led to other gardens and more funding, all grant-based. Tell me about that.
Well, grants are an awesome opportunity for our campuses to come together and find things that teachers have interest in, communities have an interest in, and in this case, the rain garden started with a need. And generally, when you have a need in grant writing, what you have to do is you have to find out what sources really want to match that need. It's not about how much money they have, really, even though people look at grants that way.
Sure.
It's truly about, do they have a heart for the need that you have to put forth? And when you find that matching partner, then you have an unlimited resources to be able to find more grants.
And so where does somebody start to thinking, okay, even with the rain garden, well, we want to create a garden here at the school. How do you even, I mean, I go to Google search for everything, but how would you start looking for grants?
Well, when that particular grant came to be, it just so happened we were in construction with our science building, and we had a need to deal with the 40,000 square feet of water that's coming out of the back of the building. So I called the grant department to find out what was available out there, and they told me Sarah was coming up with a grant for drainage and runoff issues, and so that was a perfect match. So I called them, we went into competition, we had brought together all the other Northside resources with facilities and maintenance, and that generated the support we needed to actually write the grant well. And so really a lot of times it starts with the grant department, and then they can connect you with a proper resource that matches to what your need is. And they were very vetted in this and really wanted to see the rain gardens be a kind of a prototype for Northside as we build other structures instead of doing things that are less invasive.
Okay, so we start with a grant department.
Yes, ma'am.
Great resource. So then how much do you depend on them? I mean, you've been doing this for some time, but somebody who might be newer to this, are they just available all the time? Or
you can call them and they can kind of give you a lead as far as who might be willing to fund those items. Other things you can do is ask other schools who they've used. One of the repetitive grants we've gotten was the Lowe's grant. And that started about 4 years ago. They came out and helped us build a butterfly garden and also an outdoor classroom to add to what we already had. And Lowe's repeats every 3 years. And so we know the cycles of some of the businesses that are there. And then also as people realize kids are doing the work and they're doing the learning, we've had several business partners that have come alongside of us and given us money outside of grant writing. And part of it has been a university partner with Our Lady of the Lake University and Peggy Carnahan's group with Acorn. And they have come out and to use us as a training site, and that has given us additional materials and additional partners that we've been able to have work with our kids and some of the gardening effects that we've done.
okay, so it's one thing to actually find them, and it's certainly another thing to write them. Is this time consuming? Is it very detail oriented?
It depends. Most of them are not. Most of them are very clear. If you have a clear vision as far as what you want to do with the grant, the writing process is just very natural and easy to follow. It's usually you have to follow their guidelines that they give, and again, it's all about the matching language as far as what they want to fund and what your need is. And when those two click, the grant writing process is very seamless and very easy to do.
Give me an example, and I say based on the gardens because that's what we had focused on some time back. You have several gardens. How much grant money has gone into those gardens?
All of it. It's either a combination of multiple grants we've written, or or business partners, or a combination thereof. Generally, when one business is willing to support a campus, whether it's through grants or just through donations, others want to follow in that streamline, and it just kind of becomes a connection, kind of a chain reaction that kind of occurs with those businesses and partners that we've been able to acquire.
Okay, very nice. So you've received grants for $20,000.
Yes.
$5,000, I would imagine.
Yes.
All sorts, all levels.
Yes, ma'am. They're all different levels and all different needs. They vary anywhere from $22,000 to we'll even write a $100 grant for seeds to put in the wildflower meadow, which kids stomp in and right between Halloween and Thanksgiving every year, and then they study succession that happens in March and April as they come forth, which is a great it's a difficult science concept, but it makes it very real and real hands-on for those kids. I know GLOBE, which is a NASA program, has provided us funding and money to put up this weather station out there, and the kids collect the data and send it daily through the internet, so they're interfacing with international science scientist.
All right, Dr. Mary Jewell, thank you so much for telling us about these grants and giving us some basic ideas how we can get started. And really, it also starts with our grant department. Plus, I would imagine you're a great resource as well.
And just good ideas from teachers.
All right, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for another edition of Northside Speaks. We will see you next time.